Welcome to our home in Colorado. I hope you're having the most magical holiday season wherever you are and however you're celebrating this year. One of my favorite things this time of the year is to see other people's house tours. I love seeing how creative people are. I love seeing their different takes on celebrating the holiday season and how they make their homes feel festive and cozy. So I thought this year I would give you a tour and show you around our little cottage and how we choose to celebrate. So whatever you're doing this year, if you're traveling, if you're staying cozy at home, if you're going to lots of parties and seeing family and friends, I hope you're having a wonderful time. So if you're new, my name is Breach and this is my husband Colton. We bought this 100-year-old home about 5 years ago and we have renovated the whole place, the two of us by ourselves, and it has been crazy. It has been stressful but wonderful, and we've made so many wonderful memories along the way, including getting married in our backyard our first year here. We also have a small rescue farm. We have about 30 animals, which is just as wonderful and chaotic as it sounds. And we also have our 2-year-old son, Rowan. So it is just a packed house, but we would not have it any other way. So with that being said, and with the introductions done, let's get started on the tour. As soon as you walk in, you will see that we don't have much of an entryway. There's not really anything except the dining room as soon as you walk in. So we just tried to make it as cozy and welcoming as possible because it's the first thing you see when you walk in. I love the bench seating. I feel like it just makes you feel like you can sit down and have a cup of coffee. We like to play board games here. And one of the most important things when we moved here was adding storage. So you'll see that we built these wall cabinets and we tuck our jackets in there in the winter, and it just adds like a lot of functional storage for us. Right here in the corner is our wood stove. That was one of the biggest selling points. As soon as you walk into the house, you see this giant, cozy, big wood stove, and it heats our house so well, and it has just been so wonderful. So yeah, you can see the dining room from this angle. It's not anything fancy, but it does feel so cozy and welcoming, and we just love that. So you can see, again, from this angle, not much of an entryway, but we do have our little table and a bench where we tuck our shoes into, and this table is kind of a catch-all for mail, keys, packages coming in, and as soon as you walk around, you get into our little living room area. I love the old fireplace and the mantle, and it's one of my favorite things to decorate for the holidays. So you'll see I have some garlands all mixed in together, oranges, little salt dough, clay ornaments I painted gold, and it's just a really cozy place to sit and relax. There's our dog Gidget. She was my first rescue, and she loves sitting here and sitting close to the wood stove and staying cozy and warm. I love putting a cozy rug or a little bench seat by the Christmas tree. I think it's just a wonderful place to relax. And this way we'll walk into our kitchen. So when we bought the house, the kitchen was actually the dining room. And you'll see the original kitchen. We didn't get rid of it, but you'll see it here in a minute. And it was just too small. It wasn't really functional for us. So just adding the kitchen into the middle of the home was so functional, and it also just keeps life moving around the kitchen, which I love because I love to bake and cook, and I want my family around with me when I'm baking and cooking. So you'll see I've added some like unfitted kitchen pieces for extra storage. This is our little coffee table. And it is just like, I love adding antique furniture. I know it's not perfect looking and it doesn't look, uniform, but I love having unique pieces thrown into a kitchen. I think it makes it feel really special and in that kind of vintage vibe. This was the China hutch that was part of the dining room. We moved in and we kept that there. And then if we go this way, you can kind of see with these big old windows, and the view out there is just amazing. So coming out here, we have the original kitchen. So it's very cozy. We use it to wash dishes. You might have noticed we don't have a sink in the other kitchen. So it worked out keeping it. We got to keep this incredible giant sink and add some extra storage. Oh, right here's one of my favorite things. It's our little cat door for them to go down to the basement. And that is we call it like the Butler's pantry, but just a little extra bonus part of the kitchen. So back into the kitchen, you can see through that doorway, we're going to be walking right into our bathroom. We only have one bathroom in the house. It's 3 beds, 1 bath. So making this a cozy, calming space was really important to us. I feel like Christmas belongs in every room in the house. I think just like a little splash of garland, some evergreen bows, some good candles. I feel like it feels so festive, and I think that every bathroom should have a little sprinkle of Christmas in there. So you can see we just have some good storage, just little bows on our sconces. And Star, our kitten, is taking us right into the basement. So the basement is multifunctional for us. It is my son's playroom. We don't have a lot of space in the house for him to run around and play, and we get some pretty cold winters here, so it was important for us to have a space in the basement for him to hang out and play. I might have noticed we have a wood stove down here. We do have gates for all of our wood stoves. I just took them off to film this video, but with a toddler, it's very important to gate off any wood stoves or fireplaces to keep them safe. This is a very finished basement. We didn't really do anything different. I painted the floors myself. We painted the ceiling. We added this little coffee bar right here, but it still is very much unfinished. But adding rugs and textures and fabrics, I think it can make any space, even with concrete floors, feel cozy and welcoming. And adding like lots of padding with lots of antique rugs and vintage secondhand finds, I think it creates a really cozy space for my son. And right in that back corner, you might see a little bit of a mural I'm currently working on for my son, Rowan. I feel like with kids, you can't have too much whimsy and little magical moments for them. This is our cat's haven. We do have 5 dogs. We have 6 cats. So having a space for our cats to escape to and get away from the dogs, they all get along very well, but I think that cats thrive having a little bit of their own space. So they come down here. They have their little food up there so the dogs can't get into it. And they do have a room off the basement where we put their litter box. And it just kind of keeps everything feeling more sanitary, especially so many cats. And we have like one of those robot vacuums. So anyway, enough about our cats and their litter. This is my son's play area. Lots of books. I used to be a teacher, and I have such a love for books. And that's one of the things I do for my son throughout the seasons. So I switch out the books. I try to focus on seasonal things so he can really connect to the stories he's reading with the world and the things we're celebrating on the outside. So downstairs we go really fun and crazy and lots of colors. My son and I made those little salt dough ornaments, and I just feel for kids, like colored lights and funky decorations, it couldn't be more magical for them. So we're gonna follow Gidget up the stairs and head on out to the front of the house. So as I said before, this house is about 100 years old. The front porch really sold me when we first moved here. And right out back, we're going to meet Ginger, one of our sweet little rescue pigs, and Franklin. Franklin is newer to the bunch, but Ginger has a brother, Chewy, who at this moment was napping, and I did not disturb him to wake him up. And this is one of our goats, Cash. He's our most friendly little pal. He was really sick for a while, and he lived in a fenced-in area by our kitchen, and just so I could keep an eye on him, and we really bonded through that because I was always sneaking him like celery and carrots out the window. And this is just a little bit of our view. One of the most healing, wonderful things for us is seeing our rescue dogs really enjoy all the space. We don't have neighbors. We live on a really quiet road, and the dogs are always accompanied with us outside, but seeing them have space to run around and just play has been so wonderful. And right there is just like Christmas magic. My little son loves to pull the candy canes out, and he just thinks they're so fun. So it's always a candy cane or two missing, but that's just Christmas. It's supposed to be imperfect and whimsical and magical. I host my family here for Christmas. We have a little guest house that everyone stays in, and I find myself getting so busy this time of year, just getting wrapped up in all the things I need to do, the endless to-do list, and I feel like I'm constantly running around chasing after all the things that are left to be done and need to be perfect for hosting for the holidays. So I'm going to spend the rest of this little bit of the holiday season connecting with my family, enjoying some slow time just at the house, and trying to just soak it all in before the holiday season is over. And I hope however you're celebrating this year, it is an absolutely magical time for you. And thank you for stopping by our little home and seeing how we decorated for the holidays.